Welcome to Throne Talk, brought to you by Barely Sober News and Reviews. I'm George Pecoraro, and with me is my co-host, Chris Jokas.
What's up?
How's it going? So,
It's
we're
going
here to
good.
break down the truth, tragedy, and treason of Game of Thrones, Season 6, Episode 7, called The Broken Man. Now, this episode, we're going to get into the Hound. We're going to go talk about Arya, what happened with her. We're going to get into Yara, Theon, Jaime working with the Blackfish now, Marjorie telling her grandmother to leave King's Landing, and finishing off with Jon and Sansa. Now, initially, Chris, what do you rate this episode?
Ooh, this one's a tough one to rate because I really liked it, but there wasn't really like that. I guess the big moment was right up front, seeing the Hound. So there wasn't some like big moment at the end that really got me going.
Right.
I mean, it was cool. Don't get me wrong. It's hard to put a rating on it though. It's just one of those episodes.
Right. I thought it was going to be, well, seeing the previews from the week prior, I thought it was going to be like a crazy episode with a lot of action, but it kind of wasn't. But there's still a lot of reveals and kind of a lot of interesting things in the episode. I mean, I'm still going to give it probably like a 7.4, maybe 7.4.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Like definitely in the 7 somewhere. I just can't decide if it was like a high 7 or a low 7.
I don't think it was that great of an episode, but I really enjoyed it more than other episodes like the last week or the week before, I think. Maybe not The Door. I think The Door episode was the best so far.
Oh, I agree. Definitely.
But this was pretty good. So
I think this season in general has been really good from my
Right.
point of view. I'm interested kind of like if it's because they're kind of like satisfying a lot of things, like for me as a book reader, like not only going further than the books and like getting to see these things happen that like people have been predicting, and also going back and touching upon things that that the show kind of skipped over, and now they're going back and playing out those storylines. But
Right.
I don't know. I mean, how do you feel? Like, do you feel like this compares to like last season? Let's say.
Well, my favorite season was season 4 with Tyrion, because I just when Tyrion went on the rampage kind of thing, and when he had his like comedy going and getting back at his family, and everything. I mean, I enjoyed it. I feel like this season's really digging into the story and the books, with Brand, everybody, and kind of Daenerys making her kind of real big moves.
Yeah, I feel like this season's just like plotting like forth. Like it's not really.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I feel like there's no big standout like characters that's doing amazing things. But I just feel like the season's just all storyline.
Yeah, it's moving the plot. I feel like the last 2 seasons kind of, or actually last season in particular, season 5 kind of was just like, slowed down like a little bit. But anyway, that's just kind of my thoughts like so far. But let's get right into that opening reveal, which
very opening. I thought that was a flashback initially, and I thought I don't know. I just thought it was a brand flashback or something like that, and it turns.
Oh yeah,
and then I
think that people
and
might have thought
even
that.
see that I see the Hound, and I'm like, oh, it's just still a flashback. Still maybe, and then I kind of realized it is present time. And the Hound is still alive. Spoiler!
It's fucking way too late, but okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone I knew you read on the internet. People are saying that he's still alive. It wasn't that surprising. I feel like.
Yeah, it's been like a thing because you don't see him die. First of all, first and foremost, you don't actually see him die.
Yeah, if you don't see them die, then there's no way they're dead. That's like
this is like
anything.
Stannis too. Oh my god, they never showed Stannis' dead body.
Right.
Like, I can't get over that. I remember last season thinking that was weird how they filmed that. Maybe he's actually still going to be alive, or maybe they're just going to show his dead body like next season. But they still haven't shown it. Just seems strange for such a big character. But.
It's the Game of Thrones way. You never know.
I know. I'm getting off topic, but it's on topic, but it's off topic. But
no, you're right. I mean, even the guy. I don't have his name ready. The guy he's talking to, the priest guy.
Yeah, I don't know what his name was. I know he was kind of like a mixture of a couple of book characters, just like meshed into one.
Right.
But,
He was even saying that the Hound was pretty dead.
Yeah.
And he thought was gonna die, and he's gonna die. He never died.
And I just want to like say like I loved his character, just one episode character, but I thought he was awesome. Like, and his interactions with the Hound were pretty funny.
Right.
His acting was like spot on. I just loved it.
Right. Especially when those other just 3 gentlemen horse riders threaten them.
Yeah.
He's kind of just like, hey man, like we're here to be peaceful and this and that. And he kind of like he did a good job playing his character the way he did, and kind of like I think he kind of knew. I mean, this is just the character, not the actor, but I think he also knew how to deal with the Hound,
right,
in a certain way.
Well, because he also came from like a military background, he like told that little story and this and that. He was just like a chill ass tough dude.
So pretty much, those guys come and threaten these religious men. They get slaughtered, right? The Hound, and also it finishes with the Hound picking up the axe.
Yeah, don't you hate when that happens? You go off, cut some wood, you come back, everyone's dead. It's like, motherfucker.
Not again. But, I
was calm for 5 minutes. Holy shit.
But it's like, okay, so the Hound is I guess religious now or something like that, and he's gonna go on this killing spree.
I mean, he's trying to just be like a pacifist, kind of put his past behind him, but then I guess by the end of the episode, he's like, you really can't run away from it. Like, this is who I am. I need to go kick some ass, right?
Right. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of obvious, that he's gonna have to fight the Mountain, or his brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's like some unfinished business, and now it is so geared up to set that
There's
up.
like, I don't see what else could happen.
So how do you? Yeah, it's definitely, it's got to play out that way. If they don't, it'd be like a bigger cock tease than I don't know what. But the bigger cock tease than the Walking Dead season finale.
I mean, seeing as like kind of the Hound and the Mountain were both they're kind of dead. I think the Hound's more alive, obviously.
That's a good point. They're like, one's like literally dead, and one's like figuratively dead in the sense that like he's kind of been reborn as like pacifists, whatever, with the hippies. But I love that like he takes the axe, and like that's how the episode ends. And it's like he doesn't have like his sword anymore, I guess, or his armor or whatever. Like he's about to just go like straight up fighting people with an axe. That's going to be pretty cool. With a wood axe. I'm pretty pumped for that.
I mean, his story is he ends up hating the Lannisters and like that kind of like the Kings and everything like that.
Yeah,
so I could also, maybe he's not like the religious type after all, but I'm sure he would love to fight against Cersei, like, you know what I mean? Against
he's
his
actually
brother.
Like, he's a cool character because he's really complicated, and it's like he's not really a good guy, he's not really a bad guy. He's kind of somewhere in the middle, and always has been. Mm-hmm. And but overall, he hates his brother.
Yeah,
he hates him. Like,
I mean, his brother's like dead though, so it's like he's a purple like blueberry.
I gotta admit, like when I was reading the books and you see the Mountain get resurrected or whatever, I pictured him just looking way creepier. I feel like in the show it looks pretty like silly sometimes. Just like I don't know, like you're right, like big purple face. I don't know.
He's got like blood up. He's got no drainage in his face.
Yeah, I just feel like it doesn't look that like menacing. It just looks like I don't know.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Arya.
Not that I would mess with him.
Oh my god. Let's move on to Arya here. So she last week's episode, it ended with her, not killing that actress that she was ordered to kill.
Yep.
And now she's on the run. She's looking to get out of what's it called? Whatever the city she's
Bravos,
in. I can't. Bravos. Yeah, she's looking to get out of Bravos.
ASAP
in the morning, and she kind of has something coming. She gets stabbed.
She's like literally she's been training for so long, and she's like the worst. What the hell? Her first first real assassin job, she doesn't even go through with it.
Right.
And then she knows these people are after her, and like 2 seconds later, she lets this old woman sneak up on her and stab her a bunch of times. Like, literally shank the shit out of her.
Right. But I also have a theory on it, but I kind of think it was a setup for her.
I'd love to hear it because I felt like there must have been something missing from that.
Well, here's the thing. So she has to know that they're coming for her.
Right.
Right?
That's why I kept expecting her to like take her face off and like it wasn't actually her or something weird. I don't know. But
well, here's the thing. She had to know that they were coming for her. And in the week before, right, with the actresses, didn't they do something where they have a pretend belly stab like thing, like a pig fat or something like that?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I don't remember. I thought I read that online. So that I think she set it up where she knew that they wouldn't stab her face because they want to have her face on the wall.
Right.
So
what? She wore like a piece of like pork in her belly.
Right, and she doesn't have like the needle, like her sword.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. They made such a big deal about her having needle last episode, and then it's like, where was it though?
And there's also, I think I saw the face that the old woman had on.
Yeah.
Was a face that Arya. You see a picture of Arya.
I know
cleaning.
that. Yeah. Right.
Right. So I think she's probably kind of like set them up where she knew she would be attacked. In a way, and maybe they think she's dead and is able to leave in the morning, or kind of sets up where the ball's in her court now. You know what I mean? Where they think she's wounded and injured or something, and she doesn't know what she's doing, kind of thing, and then she like attacks.
That's interesting, but why would she be walking around the city then, like clutching her stomach, bleeding out everywhere?
I don't know. Maybe
just to put on an extra show.
Maybe she also knew that would get back to the Faceless Men.
Well, yeah, because think about this. Arya failed to kill her target, and then so the rules of like the many-faced clan or whatever, the Faceless Men, was that now Arya had to die. Because like either way, the many-faced god was going to get a face, pretty much, right?
Right.
So maybe now that this other like bitch didn't follow through with her target and didn't kill Arya, maybe now like Jaqen's going to be like, "Yo, you failed your mission." I don't know.
I want your face.
Kind of going off on it.
Arya, I think there's a lot of things that can do Arya, and I also read something that she's bipolar, and that and that other girl, she's like a schizophrenic kind of, and that other girl is her too. And
shit, that would be pretty crazy. Like
and there's
Fight Club style.
There's this whole, like, it breaks it down.
So not bipolar, like multiple personality.
Multiple personality, right? Where she can, like, she jumps from back and forth, like, she's never in the same room with her, with someone else, kind of thing. And there's all these other things that break it down. I think that's kind of be a crazy plot twist.
That would be a crazy plot twist, but you never know, man, because we're like, the show just keeps introducing new elements. I mean, we're 6 seasons in, and all of a sudden now there's time travel. You know, like, there could be shit like that.
At least traveling in the past.
That's an interesting thought. I don't really expect it to play out that way.
And if you're interested in it, I would look that up, because there's a lot that breaks it down so much of why that it's the same, or it's the same person. It's too much to get into now.
You got a link to like that breakdown?
I do. I tried to send it to you last time.
Oh yeah, that's right. This guy tried to send me some link that says reasons why Arya's like okay before I even saw the episode.
Right, and the link didn't even work.
Yeah, the link didn't even work.
Right. So I mean, Arya's trying to get out of Bravos, right? And then we'll see what she does. I think she will. There's no way she's dead.
There's no way she's dead. They don't waste so much storyline on a character to have her gradually become more and more badass, just to have her get the shit stabbed out of her.
To be honest, though, when she was getting stabbed, I kind of screamed like, "Yes,
no,
kill her!" I was like,
no.
"Kill her, get her!"
People don't really like Arya. I like Arya a lot.
I don't like Arya. I actually didn't mind her in this episode. I actually didn't mind, and I don't know why. But I was kind of happy she was getting in it.
Are you still reading the books though? Do you like her in the books?
Nah, she's all right in the books. I'm not too deep in the books yet to really
Yeah.
understand her.
All right.
All right, so let's go on to Yara and Theon.
Yeah, they're like at the coolest place ever. Like, where was that? The place was awesome.
Whore
They're,
Island?
yeah, they're hanging out on this like balcony, drinking beer, looking out of the oceans, like naked
Right.
chicks running around. It's
Yara's
crazy.
kind of prep talking Theon, like, hey, like where's old Theon? I want old
She gave
Theon
him
back.
some tough love that he needed, I think.
Yeah, and I kind of think he's gonna start cutting back to his old self. As much as I
But
didn't
in a
like
better
him,
way, because he was like a cocky douchebag. I think
Yeah.
he's gonna get that strength back, that confidence
swagger.
back. But yeah,
as much as I didn't like Theon early on, but I hate this new Theon. I want him to get his balls back in a way. I want him to have a little pep in his step.
Well, here's the interesting thing. If you go back to season 1, it's kind of funny. Like, me and my girlfriend started watching the first season again, and it's like really interesting to see how different
Right.
things were and like how much happier it was. And you see all these like all the Stark kids and Theon all living in the same household, right? And every single one of them by the end of season 1 splits up into different directions, and they all go through their own like basically personal hell. And some of them don't make it, like Robb Stark doesn't make it, but the ones that do, they all come back like much stronger. Like, if you look at them now, the Starks are all like superheroes. Like,
You're right.
Bran is a freaking telepath time traveler. Sansa even is like a super like smart, strong, aggressive like leader now. Jon Snow is like came back from the dead, like
Yeah, he's
was
a
Lord
zombie.
Commander of the Wall, like crazy good leader. Arya's like been training as an assassin, like, and Theon's kind of like, okay, he went through his torture and stuff too. Like, how's he gonna rise above that now? Like, what's he bringing to the
Right.
table?
They kind of really all of them kind of had their own deep path, like a real deep path.
Yeah, so different. When they like all get together again someday, like let's say they all survive and the show ends and like it's all like past the wars and whatever. Imagine like sitting around at the dinner table trying to like have a conversation. It's like yo, like,
So what you been up to?
yo, what
John's
you
like,
been
I
up to?
died.
Well, I fucking died and came back. That was pretty crazy. I fought a bunch of zombies.
Theon's
It's
like,
like-
I don't have any penis
Yeah,
anymore.
so I was like, someone cut my dick off.
What?
Arya's like, I got stabbed mad times and threw in the water. So yeah, I mean,
and
for some good
Sansa's like, I
conversation.
got married twice.
Yeah, Thanksgiving dinner is going to be interesting.
Right. So, anyway, back to Yara and Theon. They're going to see Dany. I mean, how Dany's gonna take them, who knows? We'll see how they turn out. All right, let's go to Jaime and the Blackfish. Jaime
Yes.
just got to River Run, right?
Yeah, he got to River Run. This is like my favorite part of the episode, even though maybe for a lot of people it was like boring, but I love this. So one of my biggest problems with the show always, and maybe in like I might have even like said this like an earlier podcast, but I always thought that the show was just kind of like forgetting about certain characters and like forgetting about certain plot lines, and that's fine for a TV show, but it annoys the shit out of me because it leaves all these like loose ends. But like I had got to give it to the show this season. They're coming back around and tying up all these loose plot ends, and
Right.
the Blackfish and River Run and Edmure,
I don't think
Tully,
George
all
R.
that shit.
Martin is gonna leave things open like
No,
that. I don't think
he
that's his
won't.
style.
But he won't at all. But that's why I didn't like the show, because I was like, they just introduce these things, and then when it's not important anymore, they just forget about it. But now they're bringing all these things back in and tying up the loose ends, which is making me so happy. And not
Right.
only that, but like all this stuff was like straight from the 4th book. So they
Right.
got Jaime back into his book plot, and him and his conversations with the Blackfish. Like, I just love how they're both these like top warriors, and they're kind of just can like gauge each other and size each other up and have this like back and forth. So I hope there's like a little more of that, and I hope we get more of like the stuff that happens in the book between them, because it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, so pretty much Jaime was trying to be like, hey, like, just give me your castle.
Yeah, but in a
Right.
diplomatic way. Like, that's
Right.
how Jaime's changed.
Yeah.
season 1 Jamie would have showed up with 8,000 troops and just been like, we're climbing these walls, we're gonna kill everyone in there, or whatever. But like Jamie's changed in a way where he's like taking the more mature route about it. You know, he kind of understands human life more now, or whatever.
Yeah, ever since he got his hand cut off.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like symbolic of that.
He's a changed man. He's
man.
a lefty now. So let's go on to Marjorie kicking her grandmother out.
Yeah, she gave her the boot. But I'm glad that she slipped that little piece of paper. I'm not entirely sure what the rose meant. I mean, I know it stands for like their house, like that's their symbol.
Yeah, I think it was her way of saying like, "Hey, like
I got this. Like I still know what's up. I still put
like
I'm
faking this stuff."
Yeah.
I think she's faking. I think she's got some crazy stuff planned out.
I never bought it. Like she
kind of 180'd real quick. You know what I mean? And she's kind of scary, smart, and conniving.
She is. She's like one of the characters that's always kind of been scheming, but you never really like truly understand what she's up to.
Right.
Like since she was introduced, she's been pretty shady.
I mean, she's like, what her plan is. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm assuming to maybe befriend the High Sparrow and other things, and make him believe that she's one of them, and kind of, in a way, getting back at them, or like making them believe that she's, you know, a part of their group, kind of doing like spy work.
Yeah, right. I can't see like what her overall plan is going to be.
Well, here's another thing. She's also, I feel like she's getting people, important people, or people she cares about, out of King's Landing. Think about, so she kind of got her grandmother out directly.
Right.
And kind of slipped her the rose, saying, like, I think sneak in a way, being like, hey, I'm not lost, I'm still part of the family.
Yeah, that's definitely what it meant in a nutshell.
Do you think she also convinced, I'm drawing a blank on his name, the new king? What's his name? Thomas? Tommen. Do you think she also talked to Tommen and kind of convinced him to kick Jamie out?
It's possible. Why would she care about Jamie, though? She shouldn't care about Jamie. She should hate the Lannisters, really.
Yeah, but I feel like they're kind of, in a way, coming together. I think they are.
No, I don't think so.
Here's the thing. I think this is what's going on. She's kind of playing it dumb, and I think she kind of realized that the Lannisters are her friends. Maybe that, you know, in the beginning they were very, very on the faux side, but they.
Yeah, but in this episode alone,
Cersei's on her side now, I think.
Yeah, Cersei's up to her own game. I'm telling you, you keep giving Cersei way too much credit. Cersei is an evil bitch. She's playing calm right now and playing friendly, but she's definitely not. The Tyrells and the Lannisters are like neck and neck, but they're just not really showing it. It's like passive aggressive.
I think they're going to team up. The Lannisters, Tyrells, Marjorie, and Cersei are going to start tearing people apart. They're going to be working together. They're going to be
against. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what the whole point of the storyline is with the faith, but
daughter-in-law, mother-in-law.
I know, but even the Queen of Thorns, even in this episode, the Queen of Thorns was like, the only enjoyment I get out of any of this is knowing that you failed, Cersei. So they still hate each other.
Yeah, they may. I think they're on their side more than everyone realizes, more than you realize.
All right, we'll see.
I mean,
we'll see how it plays
this
out.
is like one thing that we're on two sides of, so we'll see how it turns out, right? I mean,
yeah, that's true. You've been kind of saying this whole season that you think Cersei's turned around, but I think it's an act. I think she's like learned to be more patient.
Her and Jamie are turned around, 100%. Marjorie's going to join side, and then boom, they got like the three amigos.
I will almost put money on the fact that by the end of this season, we only got 3 episodes left, but by the end of the season, I think Cersei is going to go like batshit intense. She's got the mountain still. No one's peaceful with the mountain on their side. She's going to unleash the mountain
unless
to do some
the hound kills the mountain. Then the only thing she has is Marjorie.
I don't know. You think the Hound's gonna kill the Mountain?
Yes, I think that's the only way
I know,
that's going to
right?
happen.
Yeah.
You can't have the Hound come back from the dead and then he gets killed by his brother.
In a way,
his dead brother.
I know, but it's like, in a way, this show is easy to predict, but it's also very hard to predict. It's like,
yeah, we could be 100% wrong in all levels, but I mean, I feel like Marjorie and Cersei kind of need each other, and they have each other. And Marjorie's doing some crazy workmanship. Cersei and Marjorie might be in cahoots. You don't even know. I think they're cahooting.
there could be some cahooting going on.
Good old-fashioned cahooting. All right, let's finish off with Jon and Sansa here.
Yes.
They're trying to really rally the troops up and trying to get as much men together to go after Ramsay.
I've never had any sort of real like enjoyment watching Sansa's scenes because she's always just been a victim or an idiot, and it's just frustrating watching her scenes. But this season, I'm loving her. She's like totally pulled herself out of this victim mentality, and now she's running shit, and it's really awesome to see. Plus, it's just good to see like two of the Starks back together with each other. You know, Jon and Sansa.
Yeah, they're kind of working together. I guess they're being reunited.
They're having some disagreements here and there, but I mean, overall, it's just cool to see. You want to talk about the little girl, Lyanna Mormont?
Yeah, I do. Because she was... she scared me.
I know, she was a show stealer.
I think everyone fell in love with her.
Yeah.
And her demeanor and her power she felt like she had and her demands.
Yeah.
Even Jon and Sansa were very scared of her. She made me angry because she was so demanding.
but I love how they're doing that because like they're always like talking about like the Northerners, like the North remembers, the North is different than the other people. Like the Northerners are like really tough. Like even their little girls are super tough.
Even this little girl is scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this little girl being as scary as she was, Sansa. Davos, yeah, talked to her to convince her, because I guess Davos has a way with little girls. I mean, not in a bad way, but he just knows how to talk to befriend little girls.
Yeah.
So Davos talked to her and convinced her, and then they only get 62 men. And I think they were, the face that they had was... that Jon and Sansa put on was great.
Yeah,
but then they obviously knew they had to take the men.
They let that pause for like just the right amount of time.
They're just like, yeah, well, this is wonderful. Thank you so much. 62.
I hope they bring that up again in some way. Like maybe like after the battle, they're just like
the 62 only men that are standing there.
Yeah, right.
They're still standing, and all the other men are dead. Like, oh god.
Which, by the way, they've been kind of building up to this battle against the Boltons at Winterfell for a long time now.
Right. Well, they're trying to get people, and also like a lot of.
But even before that,
soldiers don't want to fight with the wildlings.
Right, but even before all of this with Jon Snow and Sansa, with Stannis like riling up people to take back Winterfell and this and that. So this has kind of been like a building momentum towards what should be a really epic battle. I just don't know if it's going to happen this season or not. We got 3 more episodes left. I guess it's possible, but I don't know. This might be like a next season battle for Winterfell sort of thing.
Probably. They'll probably build up and they'll probably do the classic like they're kind of standing getting ready to fight, but they don't really fight. So
because I'm thinking like the season finale of this season might have to do with like the Faith and Cersei and the Mountain. Like that's just what, to me, it seems like the main thing is going to be kind of like a King's Landing sort of. But I'm not sure. Who knows? So many things happen in each episode. I mean, we've been talking about this episode alone for 30 minutes, and we're kind of rushing through because we don't want to take that long. There's so much to talk about with each episode. So
it's tough. It's tough to do short discussion of this episode.
I know. Yeah.
So wait, remind me again, who directly do we know directly who Sansa sent a secret crow to?
I'm going to assume it was to Littlefinger because Littlefinger has this big army, and she was like, "I don't need your stupid army."
Right.
But now she had that conversation with Jon, and it's like, she's like, "We don't have enough men to fight this battle," and Jon's like, "Well, we got to fight it. We don't have time because they have Rickon, and they're going to kill him."
Right.
So I'm assuming that she was like, "Okay, I guess I do need Littlefinger's help," and wrote him a letter. But you never know. Could have been just kind of like a trick to the audience. Maybe she's writing to the Blackfish. Maybe.
Well, wasn't there a person that Sansa and Jon were arguing about?
They were just arguing about.
They wanted to go. Sansa wanted to go see someone else, and Jon's like, "No, what's the point of going to?"
Yes, are.
Wasn't
correct.
it the Blackfish?
I don't think it was the Blackfish. I think it was another northern house.
Right.
But I think Jon was basically saying we don't have time to like waste, traveling all this way and whatever. So.
Right. So it's probably Littlefinger, right?
Yeah, probably. I also just want to make like a quick comment. They stopped to camp in that one area, and Davos was like, "Oh, this is a smart place to camp. This is where Stannis kept his army, and Stannis is like a great military leader, so this must have like strategic vantage points and blah blah blah." But Jon responded, and he was like, "No, we're not staying here like more than a night or whatever he said." He's
Right.
like, because he knows the North better. Like he understands that it's a bad place to get trapped in a snowstorm, which is pretty much what happened to Stannis, if we remember. So it's kind of cool, like Jon being in the North and being a Northerner, like he understands these things more, When someone like Stannis, who was from the South, like he pretty much lost because he didn't understand the North. Which is kind of what happened to the Nazis in World War II, invading Russia, but I won't get in there.
This is Game of Thrones here. keep that to your World War II talk you got going on.
I'm just saying, the author pulls a lot from actual history, so.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it for this week's Barely Sober News and Reviews. Throne Talk. We were talking Season 6, Episode 7.
The Broken
till next
Man,
week.
A.K.A. The Hound.
A.K.A. The Hound. Till next week, listen up. And you can follow us on Twitter at Barely Sober Reviews. Also on Instagram at Barely Sober NR. I'm George Pecoraro.
And I am Chris Jokas.
And this is Throne Talk.